Actually, no. To be honest, growing up, I never see myself being this far. I never see myself doing this for this long. To be honest, at 8 years old, I could have never imagined me, sitting here. People ask me my story, of I was 8 years old, and somebody tell me a couple of years now, you're going to be on TV. I'll tell them you probably the most craziest person I ever saw. I never imagined this for myself. I never imagined me doing this long because dancing wasn't even my first passion. Music was always a part of my life. I used to play with the saxophone. I thought I was going to be, inside a barn or whatever, somewhere like my brother. But I never saw myself taking a different route in music, and dancing. I always used to dance, at my family gathering. We have little dance contests or whatever, and I always used to win. But I never be taking it this serious for this long, to be honest. So somebody tell me, oh, you such good at it, or was this your first love? I'll be telling them, no, actually, Instrument was my first love. My brother used to play music all the time, every genre of music. I believe he was the one who gave me the love of music. Then my mommy gave me the love of dance, and I just put them two together, and yeah.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, the Prime Minister tabling the heads of agreement for Oban Energies in Parliament yesterday. Members of the Christian Council voting unanimously to present their amendments to the Domestic Violence Act to government. And Bahamar opens yet another plush restaurant for you to dine in.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDon Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. The heads of agreement for the Oban Energies oil terminal in East Grand Bahama was tabled by the Prime Minister in the House of Assembly last evening. The oil refinery project has an estimated cost of over $4 billion. Jimenita Swain tells us more.
The developer Oban Energies Limited proposes to construct a 20 million barrel multi-purpose terminal in East Grand Bahama. The oil refinery could cost as much as $4 billion. The cost of the terminal is pegged around $1.5 billion. The project has the potential to be a windfall for Grand Bahama's struggling economy. It's projected to create 600 direct jobs and 1,000 indirect jobs during the construction period. During this phase, the goal is to have an 80-20 employment mix, with the majority of the workforce being Bahamian. Once in full swing, 250 full-time jobs are expected to come on stream. For its part, government proposes to grant the developers full tax exemption from any and all applicable taxes, inclusive but not limited to income, import duty, export tax, and real property tax. The developer won't have to pay value-added tax for construction material, equipment, furniture, fixtures, and other materials for construction. Oban also has export exemptions on any and all refined and stored products and oil once it commences operations. All vehicles and gasoline necessary for the development's construction are going to be imported and exported out of the country duty-free. Now, if Oban fails to deliver on a number of jobs it's promised, and if it fails to deliver on schedule, those tax concessions could be reduced. The 45-year agreement could be renewed for another 45 years. Both parties have agreed that the heads of agreement document will not be terminated based upon any environmental impact assessment. Rather, the government intends to work closely with the developer to mitigate against any damage. However, should damages occur, the developer will be held liable. Now, within 45 days of the execution of this agreement, the developer has to pay the government $1.2 million annual for the Crown lease fee. Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Stakeholders from the financial services sector taking stock of the industry today. Those executives from financial institutions, law and accounting firms took a critical look at the industry and ways to reshape its future. Our newest addition to the ZNS News team, Tashina Robinson Blair, reports.
The days of money that should not be here are long gone, says Minister of Trade, Immigration and Financial Services, the Honorable Brent Simonet. He indicated that the Bahamas is working towards a very clean book of business. For the protection of international investors and business partners, Mr. Simonet said the jurisdiction's obligation is to remain abreast and compliant with global financial initiatives.
So all of this, the aim is to stop, this initiative is to stop tax planning strategies used by multinational companies to exploit gaps and mismatches in tax rules, which will artificially shift profits to low or no tax locations where they have little or no economic activity.
The House of Assembly has debated the Proceeds of Crime Bill and the Financial Transaction Reporting Bill. The legislative push is all part and parcel of the government's aim to send a loud and clear message to international counterparts that the Bahamas is serious in its commitment to adhere to international tax compliance and cooperation standards.
The government is also planning to bring transparency to the process involved with the approval of foreign direct investment by codifying the practice in the Foreign Investment Bill. We are also creating and amending legislation and enforcement actions to thwart illegal and illicit activity and strengthening human capital resources to adopt technological advances.
Chairman of the Bahamas Financial Services Board, Antoinette Russell, points out that practitioners and regulators alike must move away from describing the financial sector as offshore. She says the reality is the Bahamas business model is far better described as international, as it provides a variety of financial services to a geographically diverse clientele.
Offshore has an adverse connotation, which the Bahamas has undoubtedly moved beyond.
The summit brings together local and global thought leaders from Singapore, the United Kingdom, the United States, and Canada to assess the industry's current state and to exchange ideas on how to move the sector forward. CEO and Executive Director of the Financial Services Board, Tanya McCartney, explains.
We've been under tremendous pressure over the past few years, and at this juncture, our theme is hitting the reset button because the Bahamas has spent a tremendous amount of time responding to global regulatory changes, responding to pressures from international bodies. And we want to talk about how we chart our own course in a compliant environment where we're adhering to international standards of best practice.
Ideas and strategies brought to the table at this summit are expected to find their way into policy decisions and business strategies. For ZNS News Network, I'm Tashina Robinson Blair.
Members of the Bahamas Christian Council have voted unanimously to present their amendments to the Sexual Offenses and Domestic Violence Act to the government. This as the government continues to consult with various stakeholders ahead of bringing the controversial bill to Parliament, which seeks to criminalize marital rape. President Bishop Delton Fernandez said the decision was made during the Council's monthly meeting last Tuesday, following a presentation from the Council's legal team. He said the pastors plan to meet with the Attorney General this coming Monday to present those documents.
We will sit and go over our presentation of our amendments that we would like for the Sexual Offenses Bill. It is our hope that in the spirit that it was given to us, it will be received, that they will take note of the thoughtfulness of the Council, the really in-depthness of our research, and the document that hopefully can move us in the direction where we have a better Bahamas. And so we thank the brothers and sisters of the Council for unanimously saying that we wanted our voice to be heard on this.
The Christian Council president said the amendments will be made public following the meeting with the Attorney General. He also indicated that the Council will take a position vote on the marital rape issue pretty soon.
And when the final document is drafted, we will gather as the churches of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and we'll make a decision on if we are supporting or not supporting the final draft. Submitting what we believe are amendments that'll be in the best interest of us, of the Christian faith. And we wait to see the final conclusion of the matter.
The International Black Women's Public Policy Institute holding its 4th conference here in the capital. The opening ceremony for the 4-day event was held at the Melia Nassau Beach Resort with women from the United States and the Caribbean. Attorney General Senator the Honorable Carl Bethel welcomed the group, reflecting on their work, and so did Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, the Honorable Lanisha Roll.
This conference is indeed very timely for us in the Bahamas, where women comprise 51% of the population of the Bahamas, head 70% of the households, but hold only a mere 12% representation in Parliament. And you are here at a time when we as a nation...
The 4 pillars of work are fascinating, focusing on human trafficking, economic security, health and wellness, and education, critical to human development. Under the first pillar of human trafficking, you have your ARCH initiative, which is the acronym for Awareness, Rescue, Counseling, and Healing. This is a major issue we face in our country, and we deal every day, we grapple with these issues. The extent to which you can also vivify our social activists to become more aware of these issues, particularly as they affect human trafficking concerns, the Bahamas will certainly benefit.
Advocating for rights, lobbying for awareness, championing a cause, being a pioneer for what is right or what is just is not simply a service, but ladies, it's our duty. I know that your purpose is to advocate for women and provide safe spaces for their or our perspectives to be heard.
Guest speaker this morning was the Director of Tourism, Joy Jirbalou, who says the role of the group is to advocate for women globally through acts of kindness. But she highlighted areas where the Bahamas continues to see challenges as it relates to women. Meantime, the group's co-founder and president, Barbara Perkins, says the organization will conduct a special project at the Cleveland Indians Primary School while here.
This conference is indeed very timely for us in the Bahamas, where women comprise 51% of the population of the Bahamas, head 70% of the households, but hold only a mere 12% representation in Parliament. And you are here at a time when we as a nation are grappling with the issue of gender equality and women's empowerment. In principle, we Bahamians are all on board with the concept of gender equality.
In every country that we've been to so far, it's our 4th, we've established a reading room initiative. And here in the Bahamas on Saturday, tomorrow, we'll be doing the ribbon cutting ceremony for a library that we've adopted and we plan to be in touch with throughout the year.
And still to come, the Bahamas Union of Teachers calling for the removal of the principal at Stephen Dillard. We'll tell you why the BEMU does not support that and more ahead in the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
I guess I was too big-eyed. You promised me so much. I gave up my time, my friends, my connections, and my contacts. And this is how you treat me? I should have never left my mean squeeze for this side piece. And all these funny numbers and things.
Why switch when you can stay with the company that covers every island, rock, and key? BTC, every day.
What does support look like? What does it sound like when you feel the pulse of a nation? When you make a difference in the lives of strong, principled, cultured people who are driven by hard work and passion. People who build communities where hospitality is warmly demonstrated because this is the Bahamas and we're happy to share our wealth. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians. Bahamians helping Bahamians.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. all for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
Of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Another high-end restaurant opening its doors at the multi-billion-dollar Bahama Resort during a plush ceremony last evening. Bahamians wishing to dine in at the new Regatta restaurant can expect to get an unlimited food court. General Manager of the Grand Hyatt Bahamas, Scott Allen, talked about some of the Bahamian cuisine.
It takes Bahamian cuisine and international cuisine and really brings it to the next level for dinner. But we also are going to have a fantastic breakfast as well as Sunday brunch. So we're hopeful that after church services on Sunday, this place will be packed with those that have enjoyed a good morning and then followed by a wonderful brunch. Breakfast happens to be my favorite meal of the day, so there are a lot of great egg dishes, a lot of local Bahamian dishes, a lot of grits with fish, a lot of smoked salmon. It's just a wonderful treat.
Executive Chef Brent Martin shared with us his experience whipping up these scrumptious meals.
We have 5 amazing stations around the room. Every station really represents the different cooking methods, from grills to planches to rotisserie grills. We have a popsicle station. So every station has a unique offering to each station. It changes on a daily basis. You get to interact with the chefs. It's phenomenal. It's a place that you can go full, you can come hungry. It's just amazing what we've accomplished here today.
Officials from the Bahamas Educators Managerial Union, BEMU, not supporting the action taken by teachers at Stephen Dillett Primary School this week. The mild protest was organized by the Bahamas Union of Teachers, who called for the removal of the institution's principal, who they say refused to listen to their concerns. BEMU President Charles Walgu says that there has been a number of inappropriate attacks on managers and supervisors at various institutions in this country. He calls the incident disgraceful.
We take this opportunity to inform our members and the general public that the mistruth that have been directed towards Mrs. Phyllis Johnson by the president of the BUT are neither professional or warranted. The personal attack being referred to as a hot mess and the mistruths about Ms. Johnson being transferred to 4 schools in 5 years by the president of the BUT goes against every code of ethics adopted by BEMU, our union, the Caribbean Union of Teachers, the International Labour Organization, ILO, and Educational International, of which BEMU is a bona fide member.
Walgus added that both the BUT and BEMU codes for prohibit the students' lesson time being obstructed due to meetings among faculty during school hours.
These types of interruptions during the course of school hours are reasons why these concerns were addressed in our collective bargaining agreement. And we note the collective bargaining agreement between both unions emphasize the importance of mutual agreements. BEMU's executive officers have participated in meetings with BUT and its president, along with a few of its executive officers, in an attempt to resolve matters of concern amicably and professionally.
About 30 students of the Old Bight High School in Cat Island participating in a career and technical exhibition where they learned more about the job market. They got the opportunity to explore areas like the armed forces, culinary arts, the sciences, hospitality, home management, cosmetology, business studies, information technology, plumbing, auto mechanics, and air condition and refrigeration. The focus is bridging the gap between the schools and the workplace, linking theory and practice to create opportunities for students to become entrepreneurs. School administrators say it's the 4th year they have held the event, and they have been getting good feedback. The budding entrepreneurs who want to become chefs, mechanics, and plumbers showed off their craft and received prizes for their efforts. Congrats to these seniors. And stay close, Jonathan Benson is up next with sports. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Fanta, supporting the greatest expression of Bahamian culture. More than one flavor, still one family.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Government Secondary School Track and Field Championships coming to a close today at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. After AF Baddeley dethroned C.H. Reeves for the junior school title yesterday, the C.I. Gibson Rattlers looking to do the same thing to the C.R. Walker Knights as the two schools entered the final day of competition tied. This one would come down to the final two events on the track, the 200 meters and the 4x4 relays. In the end, the Knights a bit too much. They win with 628 points. C.I. Gibson settling for second, 574.5. C.B. Bethel was third, 463. R.M. Bailey fourth, 305. C.C. Sweeting in fifth, 234. Doris Johnson sixth at 202. GHS was seventh, 183.5. Anton Rogers, they round up the table in eighth with 162.5. The IAAF World Indoor Track and Field Championships continuing today in Great Britain. Alonzo Russell, the first Bahamian on the track, contesting the man's 400. This was definitely a crazy heat. All of the runners were disqualified. It's the first time I've ever seen it, but looking at the replay, Russell clearly stepped out of his lane, meaning he won't be moving on. The news much better for Devon Charlton in the prelims of the women's 60-meter hurdles. She won her heat in a season-best time, 7.95. She now advances to the semifinals, which run tomorrow at 1:05 local time here at home in the afternoon. Charlton will be in Heat 1, Lane 4. She'll need to finish in the top two or have one of the next two fastest times to advance to the final. Bahamian descendant Katarina Johnson-Thompson, the daughter of former ZNS audio man, the late Ricky Thompson, also the World Indoors competing for Great Britain in the pentathlon. She won gold, 4,750 points. That was 50 points better than Ivona Badic, who finished up in second. From the NBA last night, the Sacramento Kings picking up their first win since the All-Star break. They took down the Brooklyn Nets 116-111. Buddy Hield coming off the bench, finishing with 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Buddy and the Kings playing again tomorrow against the Utah Jazz. On to the college hardwood now. The Arizona Wildcats, they put away Stanford last night, 75-67 to clinch at least a share of the Pac-12 regular season title. They're also the top seed in the Pac-12 tournament. DeAndre Ayton, another double-double. He had 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers also on court last night. They weren't as fortunate. They fell to 24th-ranked Middle Tennessee State 82-64. Dwight Colby, 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 block shots. The South Andrews Basketball League, they had action last night. Rolls Bussing, they scored an 85-80 win over South Andrews High. Aaron rolled 26 points in the win. Madeleine Smith had 22 in the loss. The Young Ballers also in the win column, 86-80 over Camps Bay. Jared Dean had 47 for the Ballers, but he wasn't the game's top scorer. Quentin Ferguson, he put up 52 in the loss. The Providence Basketball Association, they have a Division I doubleheader tonight at the AF Adderley Gym. Leno Regulators, they open up against the Rockets. That's followed by the University of the Bahamas Mingos and the Island Game Pros. That is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Financial dreams only become a reality when we make the commitment to ourselves and our financial future. Let Leno help you bridge your dream into a reality. Leno Corporate Services offer individual retirement plans, pension administration, investment management, brokerage and trading, accounting, payroll, and corporate services.
Leno, bridging possibilities. Contact us at 396-3225.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at what a dry frontal boundary pushed through the northwest Bahamas during the mid to late morning hours. It's now across the central Bahamas. No weather associated with it. We got 1 or 2 brief sprinkles as it's passed during the late morning hours. And we have this deep low that's developing just off the east coast of the United States. And this is expected to generate some moderate to large swells over the next several days, particularly on Saturday late and Sunday, when it should reach its maximum peak, and that will generate some swells which will propagate southward and will impact some of the islands of the Bahamas, particularly the more easterly islands of the northwest and central islands on late Saturday and Sunday, and things should start easing up a bit maybe on Monday or Tuesday of next week. Outside of our studios, we have partly sunny skies, temperature 81 degrees, a relative humidity at 57%. The winds are out of the west-northwest at 5 knots. Your barometric pressure 1,016.0 millibars. That's 30.00 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at what at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks, Basil. And that does it for the Bahamas tonight, first at 6. But don't go anywhere. News from the north is up next.
for residents in need of home repairs, a strong push for backyard farming, and a Grand Bahama businessman looking to make a difference.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, relief coming today for more than 100 residents, and now they are preparing to make home repairs. For some of these homeowners, these repairs are coming almost 3 years since their homes incurred damage, but they are grateful that repairs will be made in time for this year's hurricane season. Italia Hall reports.
125 persons were assessed and approved for checks to make repairs to their homes that were damaged by the recent hurricanes on Grand Bahama. Each applicant received up to $4,000 from the Ministry of Works.
Now, as you can see behind me, persons waited in line patiently outside of the administrator's office from as early as 9 a.m. for their checks. Now, some of these residents say they have been waiting for as long as 3 years, and getting this call is a blessing.
It's very important now. The rainy season is coming and my roof is leaking a lot.
I feel happy because, they're showing care. That's what matters. Don't tell me, you care. Show me. And so far, so good. My place is badly damaged. It was severe damage. And this is my fourth time with all the hurricane and even the tornado. I didn't miss any.
It's been a while waiting, but I guess it come in time, because actually we got good weather right now. I could actually do some repairs on my roof, and so that's a plus for me.
Parliamentary Secretary for the Ministry of Works, Iram Lewis, says one of the main documents required to be approved was proof of ownership.
We have another 425 in the system now. We have assessed over 1,000 homes, and we're asking the residents to comply, bring the paperwork in, help us to help you. We have on our list over 6,000 persons with complaints. So we have a lot of assessments to do. We only have 2 vehicles on the island at the moment, and our workforce is kind of low. So we are doing our best, and we're asking the general public to work with us and to provide us with the information that we need so that we can help move the process along faster. And then I will get an update from Nassau. So when the second 425 will be released.
He says this effort is a goodwill gesture by the government.
There is a limit as to the amount of funds moving forward that any homeowner will be able to receive. And we are not in the home repair business. We are trying to assist with persons to repair their roof, make it watertight, to prevent their goods from getting wet.
Lewis is asking homeowners to be responsible with the checks.
You can determine what portion of the check goes towards material, what portion of the check goes towards labor. But we're asking you to be responsible because there's no way in the world that the Bahamas government can sustain a program like this. There's no way that we are generating this kind of fund. So when this money goes out, it's just gone. And there's no way for us to recover that. So we're asking persons that would have received this kind of assistance to please be responsible. Fix your home. This is not time to take vacation. This is not time to splurge. And I don't believe that our people will do that, knowing that the hurricane season is once again upon us.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Residents of Central Grand Bahama hearing about the government's efforts to promote agricultural production during a meeting at the Bartlett Hill Primary School. Backyard farming is the buzz now, and residents were told how they can join this campaign. Kimberly Mullings was there.
The Central Grand Bahama Town meeting featured a few speakers. One of them, Anthony Hudson, Chief Executive of the Backyard Farming Authority in Grand Bahama, who brought some of his plants from his nursery to the meeting as evidence that backyard farming can work. He's excited about the government buying into the idea.
If you do pay attention, the food supplies coming into the country, if you look on the markings of the boxes, export only. Big Brother's looking out for his people, and they're trying to get rid of everything else. So it's our government responsibility to try to protect the food security for us. And one of the ways to do it is to start sustaining our own by growing our own products and even going into livestock.
Hudson also shared his thoughts on going into livestock production, noting that it is very doable.
It's not hard. It's just that we need the support of the government, especially in acquiring land. Because, for example, sheep and goat and cows, most of their food supply is naturally grown here, like Jumbe, Senecord, Gamalami. They're all grown here naturally, so all you need is a truck and a machete and go and get it for them. You don't have to import no food.
MP for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, says the government is focused on feasibility, sustainability, and viability, which is why initiatives like backyard farming are being taken seriously. He says Hudson was appointed to structure the local program in Grand Bahama, among many other projects.
Speaking about technical assistance to those who don't have the knowledge of what to do, when to plant, how to harvest, when to harvest. The Eco Adventure Park is being headed by Mr. Ricardo Adley. Again, we are putting documents together that will regularize it, that will have, there will be a document that persons who would come years after us, the founders, can carry on.
Along with Hudson and Adderley, other speakers included Michael Flowers of the Department of Agriculture, Glenette Fowler of Falco Marine and Logistics Company on Job Readiness, and Tony Hudson Bannister, Officer in Charge and Assistant Structural Engineer in the Ministry of Works on Capital Projects, Building Code Regulations, and the Hurricane Relief Programs for Grand Bahama. MP for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Bakisha Edgecombe, also attended the town meeting to lend her support. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
He was a sailor and Olympic champion. This well-known humanitarian and a patron of the One Bahama celebration passed away last week. Tonight, close associates of Sir Durward Knowles are reflecting on his contributions to this country.
I could truthfully say that Sir Durward is, without question, one of our national treasures, one of our national heroes.
The country is mourning the loss of a national sports legend and philanthropist, Sir Durward Knowles. A patron of the One Bahamas Foundation, Sir Durward had an immense passion for children. Co-chair of the committee, Dr. Cecil Thompson, says that Sir Durward made it a point to visit Grand Bahama every year for the celebration well into his 80s.
And he was particularly interested in children. I mean, every time we go to those assemblies, he talk about, man, we have a lot of talent in the Bahamas, right? He just liked to hear the kids speak, sing, and do whatever, etc., etc., etc.
Dr. Thompson adds that Sir Durward had another passion that truly displayed his love for all people.
Long before One Bahamas, Sir David was the patron of the Disabled Association. You see who we champions? You see what I'm saying? Without the headline. I think the One Bahamas was the attractive one. But when you speak to him about the disabled community, and I know when I served as the deputy director in Nassau for 4 years, I mean, those persons, everybody, they just revere Sir David.
Trustee of One Bahamas Foundation, Churchill Tanner Knowles, says that Durward helped propel the country on the international stage.
He was the first Bahamian to win a medal in the Olympics and also to win a gold medal in the Olympics way back in the 40s. And so, being a former athlete myself, I can appreciate the accomplishments. I just say former. I can appreciate the accomplishments of Sir Durward and what it actually took to get him there, especially in those days, you know. And he was, like, I guess, one Bahamian representing the Bahamas around the world.
Co-chair Terry Gape highlighting one of Sir Durward's major contribution to Bahamian history.
We will miss Sir Durward very, very much. And I don't know, most of you will know that he used to attend our celebrations annually until the last few years, and he took a great interest in Grand Bahama in particular. And I do believe that the first time he apologized to the Bahamian public for the injustices of the pre-1967 era was at one of our Grand Bahama celebrations. And that was a major event in the history of this country, I believe.
Sir Durward Knowles died on February 24th at the age of 100. A special memorial service in honor of Sir Durward Knowles will be held on Thursday, March 8th at St. George's High School. In other news, a Haitian man and a woman from the Dominican Republic charged today for breach of the Immigration Act. 26-year-old Johnny Pierre pled guilty to overstaying. He was ordered to pay $300 or serve 2 months behind bars. Pierre admitted that he arrived in the country last year and remained here without status. Reports say he was working at the time of his arrest. Pierre was able to pay the fine and was taken back into custody by the immigration officers, who will effect his departure to Haiti. 22-year-old Lady Mireles Guerrero Ortiz also charged with overstaying. She arrived in the Bahamas from Colombia via Cuba and was admitted in the country for 7 days. At the time of her arrest, she had overstayed her time by more than 3 months. Ortiz pled guilty and was convicted and ordered to pay $1,500 or, in default, serve 3 months behind bars. She was able to pay the fine and will be flown to the detention center to await repatriation. Grand Bahama business owner is giving back. He says there are many needs on this island, and he was moved to lend a helping hand. Sabrina Brown has the story.
Businessman Trevor Stanislaw says he has a passion to help persons in need. The local contractor recently opened X Marks the Spot Cigar Lounge on Queens Highway, and he says a major focus is on giving back.
If you're in need and you need help, you can come down here, you can talk to us, because we will search you out, we will research you, we will check you out, because we don't want to just give it to anybody. We don't want to just say, here, we give it. We want to help who need the help. So if you need some assistance, you could drop off, you can come give us the information, you could ask for me. My name is Trevor Stanislaw, and I will speak to you. I will follow up and see who I could help. Yeah, the children's home, we want to get in there. We want to help those kids out. We want to try anyone who needs help. And like I said, we are located on Queens Highway, right across from Cornet.
He says he meets many people at the spot daily, and it is heartbreaking to see so many people struggling to make ends meet.
Watching young ladies, have to wait 3 and 4 jobs. People come to me all the time looking for work. They have a job and they're looking for work, and they barely could maintain the 2 jobs, but they have to do what they have to do to take care of their kids. Same thing with the young men. Some of them end up turning into drugs or other stuff what could be easy for them to make money. I think if we help one another, if we help our own, we could do better.
Trevor recalls how others reached out to him during his younger days and guided him in the right direction. Now a successful entrepreneur, he says he just wants to make a difference in the Grand Bahama community.
I was helped. I had people who helped me. I had a teacher who was there for me she used to stay back every day to help me read, and that's how I learned to read. I know people like Mr. Rose from Tabernacle. I always help him I always look up to him because what he do every day. Dudley was someone I know from a kid. He was there around. He always helped kids, and I always, that meant a lot to me. So I want to do the same. I don't want to just look at other people and say, oh, the church ain't doing this or the government ain't doing this, but I ain't doing nothing. I want to be out there to say I doing something to help. I want to be a part of helping.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Defense Force officers trading their regular duties for a visit to the Grand Bahama Children's Home. But it was no ordinary visit, as the Marines adorned their chef hats and aprons to prepare and serve a tasty meal for children at the home. It is just a part of the officers' outreach program here in the Grand Bahama community. For the officers, interacting with the youngsters brings true fulfillment.
Each detachment, usually they decide to go and visit either an elderly home or a children's home. We decided today we'd come to the children's home. I have a 2-year-old of my own, so that the kids are important to me. I feel like if we can groom them and pour into them from their young, they'll do better and they'll remember the Defense Force is a good organization to be in. So it's also a way of representing the Royal Boston Defense Force.
We're just gonna sit down, talk with them, read one or two stories, then afterwards we're gonna feed them in a hot meal.
Charmaine Neely was responsible for getting the menu together. She says she enjoys the outreach and they have put their best skills forward to whip up a scrumptious meal.
Basic menu was nothing really extravagant. Basic peas and rice, barbecue and baked chicken, macaroni, corn on the cob. We have little desserts and drinks, but I don't want to go too extravagant. They don't know about gourmet stuff and meals like that.
The Defense Force officers will also take their community outreach to a cleanup for the Garden Villas area. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition continues in just a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
You name it, and Dolly's got it in the bag. That means they have it all. Gorgeous rooms to go furniture and accessories, Radio Shack electronics and musician supplies, Ace hardware and housewares, Whirlpool and GE appliances, Ace paint and supplies, the Garden Center. We have thousands of items to choose from to make your home run. And Dolly Madison is committed to providing you with quality name brand products at great everyday savings. Yes, Dolly Madison Home Center's got it in the bag.
Pizza Hut lovers pizzas give you more of what you love. Meat lovers get more meat. Cheese lovers get more cheese. Veggie lovers get more veggies. Pepperoni lovers get more pepperoni. When you purchase a large lovers pizza, you get any small one-topping pizza for just $2. Pizza Hut will donate that $2 to the Grand Bahama Children's Home. Get your large lovers pizza, spend an additional $2, and get any small one-topping pizza for just $2. For the love of children at Pizza Hut Freeport.
It is exciting, innovative, it is fresh, and yes, awe-inspiring.
Phenomenal with Joan Davis Roll.
This Friday, March 9th at 8 p.m. Only on the ZNS Television Network.
Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. March is recognized internationally by the World Health Organization as Kidney Awareness Month. Here on Grand Bahama, the Kidney Center has planned a number of activities to raise awareness of the vital organ. Events include a kidney walk, an open house and a health fair, and an introduction to the dialysis program. Clinical Manager Kylie Turnquest Moore.
On March 4th, we have asked the churches to wear orange in commemoration and recognition of those persons in their congregations and the community at large who have kidney disease. On March 8th, which is World Kidney Day, we were going to have a candlelight memorial here at the Kidney Center at 7 p.m. just to remember those persons in our community who have passed, who had kidney disease. So we invite all persons who have had loved ones or know of persons to come out and celebrate with us.
Nephrologist Dr. Monique Pratt says that the Kidney Center is mandated to serve and educate the public, and she is inviting the entire community to support these events.
We would love it if the community and also the patients would support us in our efforts this year and help us celebrate in making kidney disease more aware to the public, because we're here, we love what we do, and we're here to take care of you. And so we will look for your support this year during Kidney Month.
And now it is time to ask the doctor.
I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Welcome
Kevin from Nassau asked, "My mother is in her mid-60s and has given up driving at night. She says it's because of night blindness. I've never heard of night blindness before. What is it?" Kevin, thanks for a great question. Night blindness is a fairly common vision problem, particularly for older adults. As we age, many processes in our bodies begin to work differently. And for many of us, that includes our vision. If your mom had good vision in the past, she's likely experiencing some age-related changes to her eyes. Cataracts can often cause difficulty with night driving because of the glare from oncoming headlights or because of blurring caused by cataracts. Other causes of night blindness include glaucoma, diabetes, vitamin A deficiency, or side effects of certain medications, such as some drugs used to treat high blood pressure or rheumatoid arthritis. An examination by an eye specialist can help determine the specific cause of night blindness. Treatment is directed at the underlying cause when possible. Remember, the earlier a problem can be diagnosed, the greater the chances of improvement or recovery with treatment. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away, Ricardo Lightborn is up next with your check on sports.
See your new colors like never before on the Voice of Color touchscreen digital display. Get your free custom consultation at Paint Fair 352-9788.
Welcome to Jags International. We have Celebration, Balearia, FRS, Bahamas Air, Hotel, car vouchers now on sale.
Girls, I tried book my ticket online with them ferry them. So complicated, they asking for too much.
That's why I stick to Jags. No agency fees or booking fees. Cash and credit, all the same. Blow deals and spectacular services with a smile.
Yes, that's Jags. Your one-stop shop to Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Miami.
We even offer cheap car rental vouchers, dollar, thrifty, Hertz, and VIP service.
Book now with Jags and get their $5 discount card. And don't forget the super sales going on.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
Everybody, it's Sports Number Ricardo Lightborn, and yes, Simeon Houghton, this one is for you tonight, buddy. Let me tell you, the regatta season is underway, and Grand Bahama is going to have a new class E-boat that's going to be starting up this year. Meet the boat builders. Kennard Bethel and Roland Duncombe and his team have constructed an E-class sloop right here on Grand Bahama. The hope is to rekindle the sloop sailing locally and throughout the islands of the Bahamas, says Kennard.
It's 12 foot on its deck. Now it's the growing class of regattas and boats for the regattas nowadays. It's going to be sailing for the first time in South Andros in the E-class regatta, which is brand new. I just organized that one.
The sloop is headed to South Andros, and Kennard is a retired man, and he says he still enjoys boat building. His love for boat building and sailing is what drives him.
This has about 700 man-hours in it, just for the hull itself. And we could have cut that down to 200, but you know, I'm in and out, so when I'm not here, we don't do any work. But it's built on the 1.6 scale, which is traditional for Bahamian boats. It's real Bahamian. And I'm trying to use this as a catalyst, as a foundation to get young people interested in sailing. For example, we are organizing the old sailing club in South Andros. We can move it around the Bahamas with these boats and get a youth section of the regatta going.
The Class E sloop will make a tour of the country and the Grandmama Regatta. It'll be back in July.
This boat will sail in Andros on Easter, this Easter. And then we'll have it there for the homecoming and regatta in South Andros. Then I'll bring it up here to Freeport to sail in the Freeport Regatta in July. I hope to have about 20 of these up here in Freeport for the Freeport Regatta. But in Easter now we'll have 14 of them.
Now Kennard is now looking for a name for his E-class sloop. My suggestion, the Curly Tail. And the Grandma Volleyball Association with some play for you. Let me tell you, these Auburn's Youth in Action defeated the Mr. Baker boys in co-ed play 10-21, 21-19, and 15-10. And the men's affair was the Tennis Spikers over the Police Specials 25-22, 25-12, and 25-21. IWF World Championship today, hurdler Divine Charlton on the heats of the 60-meter hurdles won her heat in a good time of 7.95 seconds, and she's now advancing to the semifinals. As far as Alonzo Russell in the men's 40-meter finals, the first time in a major national competition that all 5 runners were actually DQ'd. And the 4th annual event. Now, we can't go to the video. Can we go to the race? So Ms. Charlton is moving on to the next round. We can also tell you that the 4th annual Fast Track Fletcher Lewis Invitational is tomorrow. Grandmama Sports Complex, 11 a.m. starting time. Morazan Exterminators coming in town. Sunblazer Speed Dynamics going to be here coming from New Providence, sanctioned by the B3As, and it's the qualifier. So you guys go out there and watch the kids run, jump, and throw, and that'll be tomorrow. And the Bahamas Darts Federation Gold Cup is back in Abaco. Why? Not by chance, folks. Those folks got talent over there in Abaco. Yep. Association successfully defended the Bahamas Darts Federation Gold Cup. Team Abaco showed team spirit and played during the tournament that was held on Grand Bahama at the Grand Bahama Taxi Union Hall, February 2nd and 3rd. President of Abaco Darts Association Mark McCaffrey said simply that the league in Abaco is a very competitive one with some 6 teams.
We regularly play on a Tuesday night, and sometimes we practice on a Sunday, but regularly we have got the best players in the Bahamas.
Winning the Gold Cup and taking it back to Abaco, Mark said, was a performance like no other compared to the years. Having the top darts player in the country has been a plus.
I'm very lucky to have the players. Robin Albury, who's #1 in the Bahamas for the last 9 years. We call them Conky Joes, okay, but we've got the best players. And I'm really lucky to play against them.
The New Providence Darts Association placed 2nd this year. President Mike Russell said the league in New Providence is very strong, and now they're focusing on the youth.
We have 21 teams in our league, which comprises about 300 people. You know, not everybody's as interested as the people you see here, but we do have a lot of people in the league right now. About 4 weeks ago, we started a youth league, and we started with 5 kids 1 week. It grew to 7. We're now up to 10 for the last 2 weeks. So it's building, and we're getting momentum. What we want to do is train the young ones to not have the bad habits that us old people have. You know, to get them shooting properly and so forth. Learn good techniques, teach them the art of shooting, the math skills, because there's a lot of math skills involved in shooting darts.
Darts is on the move in the Bahamas, and Anishka Maycock is the new Bahamas Darts Federation president, and she's got some big plans for 2018. And also the Grand Bahama Darts Association holding its Masters tournament tonight, folks. They're over there at the Grand Bahama Tennis and Squash Club. Go by and watch them play. They're playing tonight and tomorrow. You can see some pretty good darts as well, okay? Let's look at your sports tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by InStyle Boutique. Be fashionable, be trendy, be in style.
At Grand Bahama Power Company, customers are at the heart of what we do. That's why we are continually finding ways to improve our service to you. You can avoid the line and pay your bill at our 24-hour kiosk at any time. With real-time processing, payments can be submitted with cash, credit card, or check. Conveniently located at our headquarters, this simple and easy process will have you done in 5 minutes or less.
When you need a warm, filling meal, head to KFC for a hot, juicy, flaky chicken pot pie. Individual sized, freshly baked, chunky chicken pot pie loaded with tender pieces of delicious KFC chicken, green peas, hearty carrots, potatoes, and a thick and savory home-style sauce. Covered with a golden crust. chicken pot pie. Available at all KFC restaurants in Freeport.
Influenza.
Friday.
Friday. It's been a good week.
Yes.
And so we want you guys to enjoy. Tomorrow's the police walk, run.
Run?
Walk, run.
Whew.
Walk, run.
Walk.
There you go. She has gone public and says she will walk tomorrow morning. Don't forget, make sure to cover the hair up. Don't want to drop on that.
From the mold.
Let's go. Yeah.
That's going to do it for us here in the north.
It's been a great week. I'm Ricardo Lightbourne.
I'm Megan Shepherd. Development Tonight continues.
National report, the multi-billion-dollar agreement between the government and Oban Energies tabled in Parliament. The 3-day International Business and Finance Summit wrapped up today. And pastors present their views on a controversial piece of legislation to lawmakers on Monday. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts right now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The multi-billion-dollar agreement between the government and Oban Energies tabled in the lower house last evening. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. A $6.5 billion project for Grand Bahama coming under the microscope, with the nation's leader, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis, tabling in Parliament the heads of agreement signed between the government and Oban Energies Limited. In this report, Jimenita Swain tells us that the nuts and bolts of that contract.
The developer Oban Energies Limited proposes to construct a 20 million barrel multi-purpose terminal in East Grand Bahama. The oil refinery could cost as much as $4 billion. The cost of the terminal is pegged around $1.5 billion. The project has the potential to be a windfall for Grand Bahama's struggling economy. It's projected to create 600 direct jobs and 1,000 indirect jobs during the construction period. During this phase, the goal is to have an 80-20 employment mix, with the majority of the workforce being Bahamian. Once in full swing, 250 full-time jobs are expected to come on stream. For its part, government proposes to grant the developers full tax exemption from any and all applicable taxes, inclusive but not limited to income, import duty, export tax, and real property tax. The developer won't have to pay value-added tax for construction material, equipment, furniture, fixtures, and other materials for construction. Oban also has export exemptions on any and all refined and stored products and oil once it commences operations. All vehicles and gasoline necessary for the development's construction are going to be imported and exported out of the country duty-free. Now, if Oban fails to deliver on a number of jobs it's promised, and if it fails to deliver on schedule, those tax concessions could be reduced. The 45-year agreement could be renewed for another 45 years. Both parties have agreed that the heads of agreement document will not be terminated based upon any environmental impact assessment. Rather, the government intends to work closely with the developer to mitigate against any damage. However, should damages occur, the developer will be held liable. Now, within 45 days of the execution of this agreement, the developer has to pay the government $1.2 million annual for the Crown lease fee. Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Touting the need to stamp out corruption at all levels, the nation's leader, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis, accused the Christie administration of massive and shameful levels of corruption. The Prime Minister was making his contribution to the proceeds of crime and financial reporting bills that moved to the committee stage Thursday evening. He stressed his government is committed to stamping out official corruption, but he referenced what he termed a lifetime contract.
Massive corruption of the last 5 years was a shameful national disgrace. Yeah. The contract is given for 3, 4 years, sometimes 5. And there's an out clause, which is 30 days. I asked the Bahamian people if they would think this is a corrupt intent. If a contract is given for life. It states within the contract that if for any reason we try to get out of it, then we must give a 3-year notice.
Opposition members objected to those comments on a point of order. However, the Prime Minister cautioned them not to speak too soon as the water and sewage forensic report was to come. Opposition leader Philip Davis responded to that and claims about the termination cause for that lifetime contract.
I'd like you to know that I was advised this morning that I'm named somehow in that. I know nothing about it, right? But I don't, no one is doing me any favor to say to me that my name may appear in a report that's being written. I don't know whether it's adverse to me or not, but what I can say on the record, that no one has spoken to me about anything in relation to Water and Sewage Corporation. And I would have thought that it will be totally unfair for any report to be written about me without speaking to me about it. But I'll wait it. I accept that a termination period of 3 years may not be a normal termination period, right? But one has to understand the circumstances under which that term was agreed.
I don't think you should talk too soon, because next week we're going to table the water and sewage. We're going to table that report. So don't talk too soon.
Key industry stakeholders and the government hit the reset button on the financial services sector in the wake of sweeping global regulatory changes. The 3-day International Business and Finance Summit wrapped up today following a meeting of the minds on how to transform the jurisdiction's business model, leverage the Bahamas' strengths, and mitigate against constant threats faced by the country's second largest industry. The newest addition to our ZNS News team, Tashina Robinson Blair, reports.
The days of money that should not be here are long gone, says Minister of Trade, Immigration and Financial Services, the Honorable Brent Simonet. He indicated that the Bahamas is working towards a very clean book of business. For the protection of international investors and business partners, Mr. Simonet said the jurisdiction's obligation is to remain abreast and compliant with global financial initiatives.
So all of this, the aim is to stop, this initiative is to stop tax planning strategies used by multinational companies to exploit gaps and mismatches in tax rules, which will artificially shift profits to low or no tax locations where they have little or no economic activity.
The House of Assembly has debated the Proceeds of Crime Bill and the Financial Transaction Reporting Bill. The legislative push is all part and parcel of the government's aim to send a loud and clear message to international counterparts that the Bahamas is serious in its commitment to adhere to international tax compliance and cooperation standards.
The government is also planning to bring transparency to the process involved with the approval of foreign direct investment by codifying the practice in the Foreign Investment Bill. We are also creating and amending legislation and enforcement actions to thwart illegal and illicit activity and strengthening human capital resources to adopt technological advances.
Chairman of the Bahamas Financial Services Board, Antoinette Russell, points out that practitioners and regulators alike must move away from describing the financial sector as offshore. She says the reality is the Bahamas business model is far better described as international, as it provides a variety of financial services to a geographically diverse clientele.
Offshore has an adverse connotation, which the Bahamas has undoubtedly moved beyond.
The summit brings together local and global thought leaders from Singapore, the United Kingdom, the United States, and Canada to assess the industry's current state and to exchange ideas on how to move the sector forward. CEO and Executive Director of the Financial Services Board, Tanya McCartney, explains.
We've been under tremendous pressure over the past few years, and at this juncture, our theme is hitting the reset button because the Bahamas has spent a tremendous amount of time responding to global regulatory changes, responding to pressures from international bodies. And we want to talk about how we chart our own course in a compliant environment where we're adhering to international standards of best practice.
Ideas and strategies brought to the table at this summit are expected to find their way into policy decisions and business strategies. For ZNS News Network, I'm Tashina Robinson-Blair.
Exuma might be the next family island to house an office of the Prime Minister. The nation's chief was on the island today to look at those plans and address other concerns on that island. Julian Gibson reports.
Prime Minister Dr. Honorable Hubert Minnis was greeted at the Exuma International Airport this morning by local leaders. The mission for the Prime Minister is to create an office of the Prime Minister in Georgetown, Exuma.
I think it's essential to really touch the people, listen to the people, know what are the challenges the people are facing. After all, we say it's the people's time. We must listen to the people, and we are employees of the people. So we must listen to our employers. The Prime Minister has an office presently in Abaco and Grand Bahama. I visit those offices at least once per month. We're expanding it to Exuma, Eleuthera, and Andros, and I would visit those offices quarterly.
Now, one of the problems facing Exuma, the Exuma International Airport, Customs Department, arrival area, Fire Department, not ready for the influx of visitors to the island.
I think one of the great challenges Exuma has is the airport. Like I said, it was very, very disturbing coming in to see the amount of tourists within the airport and the amount still outside that could not get in. So if the weather is bad, then that's challenges for the tourists. And first impression is last, so that's something that must be addressed.
Now, Member of Parliament for the area, Mr. Chester Cooper, was pleased the Prime Minister took the time out to address issues facing Exuma.
I'm delighted he's here. He's a critical infrastructure. The island is doing extremely well. Hotels have very high occupancy. This airport is absolutely critical to the tourism product. And I've been inviting the Prime Minister for some time to come and see some of the needs of Exuma, needs of the people of Exuma, as well as our tourists and the many, many guests we have here. So I'm delighted he's here today, and hopefully he will see for himself some of the needs of the people of Exuma.
The Prime Minister ended his tour with this message.
In Nassau, the inner city is my heart. So the inner city may be a new Exuma, you never know.
Reporting for the ZNS Network News, I'm Julian Gibson.
And still to come, a women's conference is underway here in the capital. And see how our athletes are performing at the IAAF Track and Field Championships in Great Britain. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell & Lede, designed for extra miles.
Want to pay less? Or want to save more? Do both. Just bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. With a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank, you'll enjoy one easy monthly payment, plus the chance to win $5,000. So move your loans from other banks to Commonwealth Bank and get ready to pay less and save more.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day, the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. all for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
Have you heard about RIA? It's one of Cash and Go's new ways to transfer money. RIA allows you to send money for cash pickup or direct to a bank account. Send money, pay bills, pay insurance, purchase airline tickets, make Visa payments. Love Cash and Go. Ask us about RIA money transfer today. For more information, call 322-CASH or visit simplycashandgo.com.
Are you ready for what comes next? Presidente Music Vibes Tour brings you more than music. Heads up, because the next Presidente beer that you open could make you the winner of instant prizes or a 3-day trip to enjoy the biggest music festival in the Caribbean. Festival Presidente 2017. Don't miss the chance to see artists like Justin Timberlake, Ricky Martin, Juan Luis Guerra, J Balvin, Maluma, and many more. Just get a Presidente beer, enter your codes, and win. Enjoy a VIP experience like no other. Presidente Music Vibes Tour, united by rhythm. For more information, visit presidentebeer.com. You can enter to win as many times as you like. The more beer you buy, the better your chances. Find us on Facebook for details. Presidente beer is distributed by Bahamian Brewery and Beverage Company Limited. Buy your Presidente beer at Jimmy's Wines and Spirits or local bars and restaurants in the Bahamas. Please drink responsibly.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more. RBC Royal Bank. It's all about you.
After I met Alive, and the Alive people, they were so nice. They came and showed me how to do this and do that, you know what I mean? And everything became so easy to me. And it started growing and make my head more relaxed, Even when I don't even want to do that, I just sit down and when I look, I could watch different movies, different channels, If you don't know what to do, Alive, the staff, they so nice and they so humble, the girls so beautiful, but good personality. They come and they show you what to do. And I saw they didn't come here like years ago, you know what I mean? This like honey. They feeding me with honey. I can taste no sweetness through the discovery. Right? I can taste the sweetness going on for our family, Alive really connect me, and I believe in the best. And Alive is the best, and it's good to be alive and stay alive.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The Christian Council will meet with the government next week to present their amendments to the Sexual Offenses Act. This comes as government continues to consult with various stakeholders on the controversial piece of legislation. President Bishop Delton Fernandez said the decision was made following a presentation from the Council's legal team.
We will sit and go over our presentation of our amendments that we would like for the Sexual Offenses Bill. It is our hope that in the spirit that it was given to us, it will be received, that they will take note of the thoughtfulness of the council, the really in-depthness of our research, and the document that hopefully can move us in the direction where we have a better Bahamas. And so we thank the brothers and sisters of the council for unanimously saying that we wanted our voice to be heard on this.
The Christian Council president said the amendments will be made public following the meeting with the Attorney General. He also indicated that the council will take a positional vote on the marital rape issue pretty soon.
And when the final document is drafted, we will gather as the churches of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and we'll make a decision on if we are supporting or not supporting the final draft. Submitting what we believe are amendments that'll be in the best interest of us, of the Christian faith. And we wait to see the final conclusion of the matter.
Meanwhile, members of the public also weighing in on the marital rape issue, with residents expressing mixed views on the controversial issue.
How can a man rape his wife? If the marriage is sacred, the bed is all sacred. So the person who looking for or who say get raped, something went wrong. Okay, why don't leave the law, let the law stay as is?
I think the law should be changed because I feel as if even though you're married, no is still no. Nobody should be a victim of rape just because they are married.
But they changing it for what? To say a man could get locked up for raping his wife? How? And that's his wife. I think the law should remain the same.
No one should rape anybody, husband or not. You know, I just had this conversation with my wife the other day. You know, and I agree with it. If it's just basically the same thing as an unknown man raping an unknown woman. It's rape.
A judge was expected to sentence Tiano Dahidi in connection with the murder of Robert Cartwright 4 years ago. However, the matter was pushed back to a later date. Cartwright was at his home with his parents in Richmond Avenue, Blair Estates, when armed bandits kicked in the front door and entered the house. Cartwright was fatally shot while protecting his parents. Senator Fred Mitchell expressing his concerns with immigration over recent legal decisions to release several migrants. During today's press conference, Senator Mitchell called for the government to take action and amend the immigration law.
As a result of the legal decisions recently in the courts, we have the specter of people who have no legal status free on the streets of the Bahamas, with the Department of Immigration apparently having no effective means to police their status. And this has had knock-on effects on the prison and the administration generally of the Department of Immigration. This requires urgent action on the part of the government to have this matter clarified at the Privy Council level, and at the same time, the law needs to be amended to ensure that immigration has the tools to do the job of protecting the country from incursions of those who would seek to breach our borders.
Responding to Senator Mitchell's comments, Immigration Minister the Honorable Brent Simonet says Senator Mitchell wasted his time while in office to address such immigration matters.
Senator Mitchell, as a former minister responsible for immigration, knows full well the difficulties involved with immigration. He had numerous years in which to correct the difficulties or address the difficulties. He failed to do so. So I find it very interesting that he would take time to comment now, to grandstand, when he had the opportunity to deal with the issues that are currently before the courts.
The International Black Women's Public Policy Institute holding its 4th conference here in the capital. The opening ceremony for the 4-day event was held at the Melia Nassau Beach Resort with women from the United States and the Caribbean. Attorney General Senator the Honorable Carl Bethel welcomed the group, reflecting on their work, and so did Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, the Honorable Lanisha Roll.
I find that your 4 pillars of work are fascinating, focusing on human trafficking, economic security, health and wellness, and education, critical to human development. Under the first pillar of human trafficking, you have your ARCH initiative, which is the acronym for Awareness, Rescue, Counseling, and Healing. This is a major issue we face in our country, and we deal every day, we grapple with these issues. The extent to which you can also vivify our social activists to become more aware of these issues, particularly as they affect human trafficking concerns, the Bahamas will certainly benefit.
Advocating for rights, lobbying for awareness, championing a cause, being a pioneer for what is right or what is just is not simply a service, but ladies, it's our duty. I note that your purpose is to advocate for women and provide safe spaces for their or our perspectives to be heard.
Guest speaker this morning was the Director of Tourism, Joy Jiberlu, who says the role of the group is to advocate for women globally through acts of kindness. But she highlighted areas where the Bahamas continues to see challenges as it relates to women. Meantime, the group's co-founder and president, Barbara Perkins, says the organization will conduct a special project at the Cleveland Innias Primary School while here.
This conference is indeed very timely for us in the Bahamas, where women comprise 51% of the population of the Bahamas, head 70% of the households, but hold only a mere 12% representation in Parliament. And you are here at a time when we as a nation are grappling with the issue of gender equality and women's empowerment. In principle, we Bahamians are all on board with the concept of gender equality.
In every country that we've been to so far, it's our fourth, we've established a reading room initiative. And here in the Bahamas on Saturday, tomorrow, we'll be doing the ribbon cutting ceremony for a library that we've adopted and we plan to be in touch with throughout the year.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
I'm Janine Bethel, and this is your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Wrap. Market momentum slowed this week as 33,238 shares crossed the exchange by 19 trades. 7 of the 20 publicly traded companies experienced activity this week, resulting in 1 price advancement and 1 decline. Accordingly, the BISEX index dropped 10.74 points to settle at 2,040.16. Year to date, the index is down 23.41 points, or 1.13%. The star performer for the week was Finco, which increased 10 cents to a new price of $6.40. Commonwealth Bank was the decliner, falling 9 cents to settle at $4.65 per share. Here's your wealth tip for the week. Unfortunately, personal finance has not yet become a required subject in high school or college, so you might be clueless about how to manage your money when you're out in the real world for the first time. To help you get started, we'll take a look at 3 important things to understand. 1. Take control of your own financial future. If you don't learn to manage your own money, other people will find ways to mismanage it for you. Don't rely on the advice of others. Take charge, read a few basic books on personal finance. 2. Know where your money goes. It is important to make sure your monthly expenses aren't exceeding your monthly income. The best way to do this is by creating a budget. And 3. Start saving for retirement now. Prepare for your retirement well in advance. The sooner you start saving, the less principal you'll need to invest to end up with the amount you require for retirement. So the bottom line, understanding how money works is the first step towards making your money work for you. I'm Janine Bethel, and this has been your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market.
I love sunsets. Now that I'm retired, it's the simple things in life that are enjoyable. I couldn't say that a few years ago because I never thought of or planned for the inevitable, and I never considered the debt I would leave my family in.
BAF's final expense plan, coverage up to $50,000 and it never decreases in value. Affordable monthly payments that never increase. Accidental death coverage and no medical exam or lab test required.
Now that I have BAF's final expense plan, I worry no more.
I worked hard to do well in high school.
Now that I am graduating,
What am I going to do next?
what am I going to do this summer?
I'm going to the University of the Bahamas Summer Bridging Program.
You don't need BGCSE results to sit the entrance exam.
Available for 16 to 24-year-olds residing in New Providence, Grand Bahama, and throughout the Family Islands.
Are you motivated to attend university?
The best part for me though, on successful completion of the Summer Bridging Program, you can be guaranteed direct entry into the University of the Bahamas.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
makes you think that this life's made for a king. The room starts to shake so smooth if you blink, you might just miss the whole thing. It's just a different way to move in the
Domino's242.com. Order online for parties, birthdays, celebrations, and even cheesy weddings.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more. RBC Royal Bank. It's all about you.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
The Bahama Resort has a new addition. New Regatta Buffet is another high-end eatery, which is open for those wishing to dine in. The offerings are great as it introduces the ultimate buffet experience in the Caribbean with 5 cooking stations. General Manager of the Grand Hyatt Bahamas, Scott Allen, talked about Bahamian cuisine on the menu.
It takes Bahamian cuisine and international cuisine and really brings it to the next level for dinner. But we also are going to have a fantastic breakfast as well as Sunday brunch. So we're hopeful that after church services on Sunday, this place will be packed with those that have enjoyed a good morning and then followed by a wonderful brunch. Breakfast happens to be my favorite meal of the day, so there are a lot of great egg dishes, a lot of local Bahamian dishes, a lot of grits with fish, a lot of smoked salmon. It's just a wonderful treat.
Executive Chef Brent Martin shared with us his experience whipping up scrumptious meals.
We have 5 amazing stations around the room. Every station really represents the different cooking methods, from grills to planches to rotisserie grills. We have a popsicle station. So every station has a unique offering to each station. It changes on a daily basis. You get to interact with the chefs. It's phenomenal. It's a place that you can go full, you can come hungry. It's just amazing what we've accomplished here today.
Officials from the Bahamas Educators Managerial Union, BAMU, not supporting the action taken by teachers at Stephen Dillard Primary School this week. The mild protest was organized by the Bahamas Union of Teachers, who called for the removal of the institution's principal, who they say refused to listen to their concerns. BAMU President Charles Walgu says that there has been a number of inappropriate attacks on managers and supervisors at various institutions in this country. He calls the incident disgraceful.
We take this opportunity to inform our members and the general public that the mistruth that have been directed towards Mrs. Phyllis Johnson by the president of the BUT are neither professional or warranted. The personal attack being referred to as a hot mess and the mistruths about Ms. Johnson being transferred to 4 schools in 5 years by the president of the BUT goes against every code of ethics adopted by BAMU, our union, the Caribbean Union of Teachers, the International Labour Organization, ILO, and Educational International, of which BAMU is a bona fide member.
Walgus added that both the BUT and the BAMU codes prohibit the students' lesson time being obstructed due to meetings among faculty during school hours.
These types of interruptions during the course of school hours are reasons why these concerns were addressed in our collective bargaining agreement. And we note the collective bargaining agreement between both unions emphasize the importance of mutual agreements. BEMU's executive officers have participated in meetings with BUT and its president, along with a few of its executive officers, in an attempt to resolve matters of concern amicably and professionally.
About 30 students of the Old Bight High School in Cat Island participating in a career and technical exhibition where they learned more about the job market. They got the opportunity to explore areas like the armed forces, culinary arts, the sciences, hospitality, home management, cosmetology, business studies, information technology, plumbing, auto mechanics, and air condition and refrigeration. The focus is bridging the gap between the school and the workplace, linking theory and practice to create opportunities for students to become entrepreneurs. School administrators say it's the 4th year they have held the event, and they have been getting good feedback. The budding entrepreneurs who want to become chefs, mechanics, and plumbers showed off their craft and received prizes for their efforts. Congrats to these seniors. There are many students who are faced with unfortunate situations within their environment, but those circumstances did not deter one ambitious Sia Walker Knight from achieving 9 A's and 1 B in the Bahamas Junior Certificate examinations last year. She achieved the highest results in that examination across this country, and for that and many other accomplishments, she is this week's Student of the Week.
Chardonnay Garrick is one of 2 students now enrolled at the C.R. Walker Senior High School that achieved the highest BJC national examination results across this country last year. The 15-year-old 10th grade student credits her parents, teachers, and burning the midnight oil during study sessions for her academic success.
I never expected it to work out as it did because I went into the examination with a lot of doubts, and I saw my grades dropping, and then I started getting scared, and it's after every exam I took, I was oh, I think I failed that except for maths. That was the only exam I was confident about. But then when my results came out, I was kind of shocked. I actually cried because I was really surprised.
The former product of the H.O. Nash Junior High School says her transition from junior to senior high has been a smooth one, but the workload, she says, could pose a challenge.
Really, really different. It came up with the majority of the friends I had, but the schedule, sort of the same. I'm used to the 5 periods a day, but the work contacts and the deadlines and the amount of work you get, it's really different. You get more here, so I have to work on balancing that now.
For Chardonnay, her favorite subject is physics, math is her strongest, and English is her weakest. But get this, she received a special award for English language. When asked who is her biggest inspiration, Chardonnay said her mother, because despite her challenges, she beat the odds.
My mother had me at a young age and she dropped out of school, but she went back to school and she still got her degrees while she was raising me. So she would be my biggest inspiration because she never gave up and she went straight through.
The future obstetrician and gynecologist who was already thinking about her career path gave this advice to her peers.
No matter how hard the situation looks, how difficult it seems, or it seems that's not working out in your favor, I want you all to remember that whatever God has for you is for you, and no man can take it from you. And I want you all to work your hardest because nothing comes easy.
Stay close. Sports and Family Island weather are up next. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
With prices so good you can't take them lightly, feel free to shop at Super Value and Quality Supermarket both daily and nightly. First choice sugar 4-pound bag $1.99. Panamie cooked shrimp 41.50 1-pound size $8.99. Par Excellence Par Bar rice 5-pound bag $2.99. Vitamin Tonic case price $23.76. 12-ounce bottle 99 cents. Sweet strawberries 1 pound 2 for $5. Carolina Pride hams 10-ounce size $2.99. Every day is special at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Where can you find amazing selections of towels from around the world?
Exquisite medallions, pool mosaics, all colorful, bright and bold. They got granite countertop for the kitchen, elegant vanity zincs for the bathroom, tile care and ruby too. Everything you need and more at the Tile King.
The Tile King, located 69 Wolf Road. For more information, call 326-TILE or 326-5464.
Easter's almost here, so get your hot cross buns in gear for the Robin Hood Easter Egg Hunt. Buy Robin Hood flour and take your receipt to Pritchard's on Robinson Road. 10 winners will be invited to the Robin Hood Easter Egg Hunt. You can win up to $3,000. Want to be an instant winner? Take a selfie with Robin Hood flour. Email it to robinhoodpromo@gmail.com and check Easter Egg Pritchard's Facebook page to see if you're a winner. Enter today.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Bigger is better. Get more for your money with Robin Hood flour. Next time you're at the food store, compare. At 5.5 pounds, Robin Hood flour gives you more for your money. Bigger is better. Robin Hood flour. Find it at your favorite food store.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
And it's time now for a check on temperatures around our family islands. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live in studio with the latest. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, LaDawn. In our second look at weather, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the family of islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 73 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, also in Green Turtle Key, 74 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. The Berry Islands at 76, Allenstown, Bimini, 75 degrees here in the capital, 77, a couple more 77s in Harbor Island and Roxanne, Eleuthera. Staniel Key in the Exuma Chain, 78 degrees. Camp Space, St. Andrews, Fresh Creek and Central Andrews, all at 78 degrees. More 78s in San Salvador, Grum Key, Otterstown, Cat Island, Georgetown, Exuma at 77 degrees. In Clarencetown, Long Island, if we can just get you there a little quickly. Clarencetown, Long Island, the temperature got up to 78 degrees, 78 in Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 76, 76 also in Acklands. Ragged Island, 78. Matthew Town, Inagua, 77. And the Turks and Caicos Island also reporting 77 degrees at this hour. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas, well, the northwestern part of the country, winds are going to be out of the northwest around 12 to 18 knots. The wave height gradually building 3 to 5 feet over the ocean, with the high tide taking place at 8:17. In the central and southeastern islands, the winds will be light and variable, seas 1 to 3 feet over the ocean, but that will change late in the night as that frontal system slowly moves into the central and southeastern parts of the country. And then tomorrow, for all areas, winds northwest to north, 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet, so caution flags will go up for you boaters. High tide, 8:40 in the morning, low tide at 2:59 in the afternoon. And then on Sunday for all areas, winds once again out of the northwest to north at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. But by Sunday, you can expect some moderate to large northeasterly swells to start impacting some of the islands of the northwestern Bahamas. High tide 9:16 in the morning, low tide at 3:44 in the afternoon. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast, and your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast coming up in about 15 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Cholesterol is a waxy substance your body uses to protect nerves, make cell tissues, and produce certain hormones. Your liver makes all the cholesterol your body needs. Your body also gets cholesterol directly from food you eat, such as eggs, meats, and dairy products. Too much cholesterol can negatively impact your health. Low-density lipoprotein, or LDL, is often called bad cholesterol. It delivers cholesterol to the body. High-density lipoprotein, or HDL, is often called good cholesterol. It removes cholesterol from the bloodstream. If your total cholesterol level is high because of a high LDL level, you may be at a higher risk of heart disease or stroke. But if your total cholesterol level is high only because of a high HDL level, then you're probably not at a higher risk. Triglycerides are another type of fat in your blood. When you eat more calories than your body can use, it turns the extra calories into triglycerides. Your cholesterol level should be as follows. Total cholesterol level less than 200. 200 to 239 is borderline high, and 240 or more means you're at an increased risk of heart disease. LDL cholesterol levels below 100 is ideal for people at higher risk of heart disease. 100 to 129 is near optimal. 130 to 159 is borderline high, and 160 or more means you're at higher risk of heart disease. HDL cholesterol levels less than 40 means you're at a higher risk of heart disease. 60 or higher greatly reduces your risk of heart disease. Triglycerides less than 150 is best. If you suspect you are or you've been diagnosed with high cholesterol levels, talk to your doctor right away on how to lower your cholesterol levels and stay healthy. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We want you to press and clean the super. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring all your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring all your children clothes. Super wash.
one-stop gift shop downtown in the Culmerville Plaza. Handbags, accessories, and fragrances for men, women, and kids. Open Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Special orders and layaway available. Call 352-9554 for more info. They got everything you need and more.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The IAAF World Indoor Track and Field Championships continuing today in Great Britain. Alonzo Russell, the first Bahamian on the track, contesting the men's 400 meters.
So they get away, minus Haroon, and we now have just the 4 runners in this, the third heat of the men's 400 meters. Haroon disqualified, the 2016 silver medalist. The Bahamian Russell has gone out well. Look out for Stephen Gale of Jamaica in the yellow vest, and Russell there as they came off the stagger, just having to rebalance his feet. And the Grenadian Taplin has the lead as they took the bell. It's Taplin from Russell. These two in the automatic qualifying positions at the moment. Karpinskis making a move on Gale on that back straight, and he's rounded him, and they're well spread out. It's pretty clear that Taplin's going to take this one, and the question could be who takes the second place, because Karpinskis is pushing up, and Karpinskis, well, he might well have got there as well, as Russell was tiring. And that will be interesting to see. All disqualified. Well, what? You saw that come up on the screen and you think, hang on a minute. So, as we see them come away here, what do we think we might be seeing from them all here? Possibly running just out of lane at some stage.
Well, here they all look good to me. They don't look like they're... Okay, if you look at the athlete, you're not allowed to touch the lane on the inside. So you see, they're all touching the lane. Well, a couple of them at this point. Yeah, look, he's gone. Yep, he's over the line. You're not allowed to touch the line, especially not to impede on the next athlete's lane.
Well, we can definitely strike Russell out, because we've seen him do that.
Definitely a crazy race, to say the least. I've never seen one like it before, but clearly Russell steps out of his lane, and so he will not be moving on. The news much better for Devin Charlton in the prelims of the women's 60-meter hurdles. Running out of Heat 3, Lane 8, Charlton would cross the line first, a season-best time of 7.95 seconds. That's the third fastest time heading into the semifinals, which will run at 1:05 p.m. tomorrow local time here at home. Charlton will be in Heat 1, Lane 4. She'll need to finish up in the top 2 or have one of the next 2 fastest times to advance to the final. Bahamian descendant Katarina Johnson-Thompson, daughter of our very own former ZNS audio man, the late Ricky Thompson, also at the World Championships, competing for Great Britain in the pentathlon. The 60-meter hurdles were up first. Johnson-Thompson not doing as well as she probably would have liked in this race, but it was a quick race there, and you see she finishes in 5th, 8.36, so she finishes 6th overall, 1,048. On to the high jump now, one of Katarina Johnson-Thompson's better events. She's the only one to clear 1.91 meters. And of course, this catapults her into first place overall in the standings. She has 2,167 points at this point. As we move on to the next event, it's the shot put. Another one of her not so good events, but she at least gets some points there. 706 points at 12.68 toss. That would put her back into second place, 2,873 points. The fourth event, the long jump, another one of her better events, and she gets off a good jump here. Johnson-Thompson, of course, like I said, a good long jumper, 6.50, 1,007 points. 3,880 heading into the final event. That would be the 800 meters, and there would be no catching Katarina Johnson-Thompson from here. She wins the gold medal, 4,750 points. That was 50 points better than Ivona Badic, who finished up in second, so I know Ricky would be very proud of Katarina. Back here at home, the government secondary school track and field championships coming to a close today at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. After AF Adderley dethroned CH Reeves for the junior school title yesterday, the C.I. Gibson Rattlers looking to do the same today against the C.R. Walker Knights. The two schools actually entered the final day of competition tied. This one would come down to the final two events on the track, the 200 meters and the 4x4 relays. In the end, the Knights a bit too much. They win with 628 points. C.I. Gibson has to settle for second. They finish up with 574 and a half.
Second win. It was a tough one, this one. Being tied coming into the second day. I told the kids we got to come out strong this last day and go straight to the end.
We fought to the end, fell just a little short. We'll just regroup. We got nationals next week, Rifter trials the following week, and next year we'll be back for GSSA. We have a strong young group. We don't have a lot of seniors on our team, so we're going to continue to work hard, train. Rattlers, track and field, we on the move.
From the NBA last night, the Sacramento Kings picking up their first win since the All-Star break. They took down the Brooklyn Nets 116-111. Buddy Hield coming off the bench. He finished up 6 for 13 from the field, 1 of 2 from behind the three-point arc, a perfect 2 of 2 at the line. He had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in just under 36 minutes of action. Buddy and the Hills, they'll play again tomorrow against the Utah Jazz. On to the college hardwood now. Coach Sean Miller and guard Alonzo Trier, they returned last night for the Arizona Wildcats. They put away Stanford 75-67 and clinched at least a share of the Pac-12 regular season title and the top seed in the Pac-12 tournament. That was based on their head-to-head win with USC earlier in the season. DeAndre Ayton, a quiet night by his standards, but still a good game and another double-double. He was 4 for 6 from the field, 4 of 8 from the line, finishing up with 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks in 31 minutes. Ayton and the Cats, they close out regular season play tomorrow against Cal. Now the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, they were also on court last night. Not as fortunate. They fell 82-64 to 24th ranked Middle Tennessee State. Dwight Colby, 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 blocks in 32 minutes. Colby and the Hilltoppers, they also close out regular season play tomorrow against UAB. The Bahamas Scholastic Association basketball playoffs taking center stage at the AF Adderley Gym. We get an update there from Julian Gibson.
Benson, yesterday at the AF Adderley Gym, the sun was out. It was scorching hot. Temple Christian Sons, but they lit up Princeville Primary School boys 19-8.
We just listen to our coach, just keep passing the ball around, keep when we open, just shoot. It's easy offense, bring easy defense.
What do y'all need to do now to keep moving forward and win the championship?
Gotta listen to our coach, gotta move our feet, gotta put in defense.
Now in junior girls, Telios taking on Temple Christian. This time, Temple Christian junior girls will lose to Telios. Mind you, Temple Christian, they have a primary school girls program, but their primary school girls play junior girls, and they lost to Telios 21-14.
We just had to get our defense together and our offense too. Only by the grace of God we pulled through. Our defense and our shooting. I think we played decent, but we could do better than that. So hopefully in the next game we'll be able to pull the game better.
We just didn't show up in this game. I was playing the junior division, and also it's just our girls having some experience with the junior girls. But it was a good experience for them. Next year they're gonna be back in that division.
Also junior boys action yesterday. Blairwood taking on Pace. Well, a lot of schools come September. I believe I'm going to open up a school. Junior boys from Blairwood, they got past Pace 26-23.
They're working pretty hard. They got a lot of work to do. Lack of discipline, sometimes not listening is also a little problem we're facing. Today we were only 5 men out. We had 3 guys sick, 2 didn't make school today. We go into the next round, which is tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have more players out and we can do a better job and then go on to the championship.
Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I am Julian Gibson.
Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance agents and brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we had a dry front boundary pass through the capital earlier today. That's now in the central part of the country. But our eyes are on this low pressure off the east coast of the United States. That is deepening and is expected to generate some large swells which will propagate towards the south. And that could impact the north and east coast of many of the islands in the Bahamas, particularly the more easterly islands. That's starting late Saturday, going into the early part of next week. As a result, we ask mariners to exercise extreme caution, and beachgoers to just simply stay out of the waters this weekend because of the potential for rip currents. Tonight, though, we're going in for just a few clouds, very mild, your low temperature getting down to 69 degrees. And tomorrow, it is expected to be mostly sunny and warm, high temperature about 81 degrees. And your extended weather forecast over the next several days, some pretty nice out weather, maybe a brief shower on Sunday, and then things dry out nicely as we go into the early part of next week, taking you into Thursday, when we expect yet another frontal system to move through the area. That will come through late Wednesday night, Thursday morning, triggering a couple of showers, and yet again keeping the temperatures at a nice level for you.
I'm going to enjoy those temperatures, Basil. And with that, we end the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great evening, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.